Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Sunday, December 8th. And I'm in my jammies. I did comb my hair and try and fix my face a little bit because it was pretty frightening when I woke up. But I'm here. Anybody here? If you're here, put something in the chat. And we're going to go pretty casual today. Grab the stack of records. I might have shared these before, may have not. Some of them look pretty chewed up, so this should be interesting. And yes, December 8th, we're going to do a little bit of fun trivia. I'm going to rack your brain a little bit this morning. And maybe we'll do some birthdays and some news for December 8th. And let me just write a good morning to everyone here. Glad you could join me. Put the Christmas tree up last night and it's just about done. Just have a few more things to add to it. And it is an artificial tree. And my arms are all messed up from the tree branches stabbing me. So next time I'm going to have to wear gloves, I think. But it's up. It had some funky lights on it before, and I actually picked it up on Facebook Marketplace for free, but some of the lights didn't work, and they kind of were manufactured. They were originally like really tight on the tree. I had to like use scissors to get them off. And then I went to Home Depot and got some new lights for the tree. So this tree is pretty old. It had some old school like lights on there. And so I upgraded into the LED lights and put some new lights on it. So anyways, that was fun. So let's get started. Hope you all are still in your jammies. It's 9 o'clock here. Usually I've been up for hours and I'm dressed and ready to go, but not today. So let's see, what's everybody doing this morning? And do you celebrate Christmas? If so, do you have a tree? And if you have a tree, is it real or artificial? I actually like real trees better. They just smell great and all of that, but they're just getting so expensive. And so I just decided to stick with my free Facebook Marketplace tree and my, I don't know, under $20 worth of lights. So I had my budget Christmas tree this year. Okay, so it's Sunday, December 8th, and there were a lot of people born today. And let's see, I think it's actually it's a really big day for all you Beatles lovers because it was the day that John Lennon was assassinated, which is pretty sad for a lot of you, I know. December 8th, 1980, it says John Lennon was shot. So that's pretty depressing, but let's see what our birthdays are for today here. Let me just scroll down here. Okay, here we go. Some of these people still alive, some of them not, I'm already seeing. Okay, born on December 8th, 1925, Sammy Davis Jr., very cool. Jerry Butler from The Impressions, born in 1939. Born in 1942, Toots Hibbert from Toots and the Maytals. 1943, Jim Morrison, The Doors. Wow, there's a lot of famous people born today. Is a big day for music, I guess. 1947, Greg Allman from the Allman Brothers Band. Phil Collen in 1957 from Def Leppard. 1962, Marty Friedman from Megadeth. 1966, Sinead O'Connor. And yeah, she passed away recently. Pretty sad. 1973, Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Not one of my favorite bands, but Interesting band. In 1974, Nick Zinner from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. So those are all the birthdays of famous people born today, December 8th. And let's see if we can do some music trivia real quick here while everybody joins us. So we talked about John Lennon really quick, and I'm sure most of you already know that story. But let's see if we can find something interesting here. In 2016, for all you Rolling Stones fans out there, on today, December 2016, Sir Mick Jagger became a father again at the age of 73. So, see, guys, it's not too late if you still want to have kids. After his 29-year-old girlfriend, American ballerina Melanie Hamrick, gave birth to a baby boy in New York City. The singer already had 7 children whose ages ranged from 17 to 45, and he became a great-grandfather in 2014. Mick Jagger. You know, a lot of he's got beautiful children, and some of his kids look like him. Some of his sons look exactly like him. So let's see here. Here's some scary stuff that happened on December 2004. December 8th, 2004, former Pantera guitarist Dimebag Darrell was one of 5 people killed after a man stormed the stage during the Damage Plan show at the El Rosa Villa Club in Columbus. Nathan Gale, age 25, began firing at the band and crowd, and then was shot and killed by a police officer who arrived shortly after the first shots were fired. I had no idea about that story, but that's pretty interesting. And if any of you guys know, let me know. Well, hello, Chris. And hello, artificial is the only way to go. CD Rabbit Hole. I'm trying to remember all of your names by your handles on YouTube, but I can't always remember them all. So I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to get a cheat sheet. But welcome, and I'm so glad you're here. Good morning, everybody. Nothing Compares to You, the Curse song. Why is it the Curse song? I'm wondering. Maybe because Prince wrote it and he's gone, and Sinead O'Connor covered it. But okay, so on that topic, I haven't read I think Sinead O'Connor wrote a book, and she said some really bad things about Prince, and I read an article about a crazy experience Sinead O'Connor had at Prince's house, or she claims to have happened, where she like fled from his house and he came down the road in a car trying to find her. And it's just a really bizarre story, and I don't know if I believe it or not. I mean, I know Prince was an interesting character, but so was Sinead O'Connor. So yeah, but his song sure really made her, Nothing Compares to You really made her popular. And Prince's version, or his cover of, it's not really a cover because it's his song, but Prince's version of Nothing Compares to You is just so beautiful. I really love it. I think I like it more than the Sinead O'Connor cover or version of it. So what we're hearing here about the song Nothing Compares to You, written by Prince, was 2 people who covered it committed suicide, and then there's the whole Prince thing. Yeah, well, that sounds about right. So who's the second person that covered it besides Sinead O'Connor? I'm not sure. There's also so many bands have covered Prince songs, like Manic Monday by the Bangles was super popular. I mean, they were already popular before that, but Prince is just such a great songwriter. And I'm always doting on Prince because I love Prince. So good morning. It's almost afternoon for some of you. And I know because you're from all over the place, but it's 9 a.m. here. And so it's coffee time. And I was talking about decorating the tree. My great free tree I got. And then just finding some old stuff from being an 80s kid. I got this guy here to troll. I don't know if any of you collected these, but you can see he's got cute buns. And I love these. They're so cute. And they used to sell these like at Hallmark stores all over the place, Kmart, whatever, places like that. But I like all this nostalgic stuff. And so it's fun to be a big kid during the holidays. So let's see. I haven't heard yet about who is the second person that covers Nothing Compares to You. And I'm not sure about the Grateful Dead. It's like the Grateful Dead and all the keyboard players who died. Yeah, that is interesting. Okay. So let's see here. I am going to get to the records in just a sec. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys some questions because I always think this is a fun thing to do. So I was thinking about making a theme for this live stream and thinking of songs about the morning or Sunday morning. And the first song that came to my head was the Sunday Morning song by No Doubt. But I have a few here related to the morning. And one is Morning Has Broken, Cat Stevens. And what came up on this list here was Here Come the Sun, which would be, I guess, a nice tribute to John Lennon on today. And Kanye West, Good Morning, and Good Morning Sunshine by Oliver, and Morning by Beck. So there's a lot more if you guys can think of any songs related to morning, and extra bonus points. I think I need more coffee if it's about Sunday morning. All right. So let's get started with some music. Okay. The Bongos, Drums Along the Hudson. And this is kind of a neat album cover here. This has In the Congo, The Bulrushes, Clay Midgets. That's kind of an interesting name for a song. Video Eyes. And I guess that's what we all have now. Glow in the Dark, Telephoto Lens, and Certain Harbors. And this was from 1982. Fetish Records. Pretty cool. The other side has Speaking Sands, Burning Bush, Automatic Doors, Hunting Zebra Club, Three Wise Men, Mambo Sun, and Question Ball. And so the first song I heard from the Bongos was, I think the song was called Number with Wings, and it was on one of those famous CD comps that you got in the 90s. I remember going, I like to go to Music Plus was one of the really popular ones. And of course, Tower. And then you'd go flip through the CDs and they had a bunch of really great CD comps. I think it might've been called Living in the 80s or something like that. Also, there was Richard Blade's Flashback Favorites, which he put out some really good CD comps from the 80s. And if you guys don't already know, Richard Blade's really famous guy from England, but he got really popular there, then came to America, and then was a DJ on KROQ for many years. And then he also did like some acting bits, like you can see him in that movie with Sarah Jessica Parker and Helen Hunt, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. He does like a little bit in that movie where he's the host of Dance TV, and they have like the cheesy dance off where it's kind of like not Solid Gold, but I can't remember what the name of those shows were in the 80s where they had like the dance offs. Maybe I'm thinking of Dance Fever was maybe the name of that show, but yes. So moving on, the Bongos. This is the George Shearing Quintet and Orchestra, Blue Chiffon. These old Capitol records are pretty cool. They always have like the neatest covers on them here. And I don't know if I've ever listened to this or how I got this, but I would probably like it, is my guess. But it's a little chewed up. This one here, I've got Grace Jones, Do or Die. And this one has it's in a different language here. This is from 1978 Island Records. There's the A side, Do or Die, and then the B side is in a different language. And then next, if you're like a Plimsolls fan, I have this solo album here from Peter Case. And I saw him play here in the Central Coast, or on the Central Coast, probably about maybe 8 years ago. And he, of course, played some Plimsoll songs. And he's a really great performer. He's really cool. He's got style at the back here. And so this particular album came out in 96. So 2 or 3 years after the Plimsolls made it really big with their album Everywhere at Once. And this has side 1, Echo Wars, side 2, Steel Strings, side 2, Old Blue Car, and I Shook His Hand, the acoustic version, and Steel Strings, the acoustic version. And this was from the forthcoming album, Peter Case. And I always have all these promo copies of all these records because they're cheap and easy to find. Okay, so let's see. Now we have an old copy of this. This was owned by Mr. James D. Ellis from Bakersfield, California. And this is going on the Christmas theme here. And this is a Chipmunks Christmas. And I really liked this when I was a tiny tyke. And I love the Chipmunks. The old cartoons are really fun. And I also like the new cartoons too, or the more current ones from the 80s and 90s. But they're always really fun. And of course, there's the Chipmunks with Dave, their human dad. And yeah, they're very cool. And this is so cute. And this one has Here Comes Santa Claus up on the housetop. Silver bells, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, jingle bells, over the river and through the woods. Santa Claus is coming to town. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, White Christmas, the Chipmunk Song, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And this is really cute. You can see all the Chipmunks offerings, the albums on the back here. Let's Sing Along with the Chipmunks. Sing Again with the Chipmunks, Around the World with the Chipmunks, The Alvin Show, and the Chipmunk Song Book. And this is Liberty Records, Los Angeles, California, 1962. And I wasn't even born yet, but I still like the Chipmunks. Okay. So now I have a lot. I started to realize I have a lot of Hoodoo Gurus albums, and I really like them. And this says it features the hit single "Good Times." And this might be a little redundant, but I'm going to probably revisit some of these records in my purge video that I'm going to do. So if I have repeats, you guys just can skip ahead. So this one has Out That Door. And What's My Scene is, I think, was a pretty popular song. Good Times, I Was the One, and Hell for Leather, and We're Nowhere. So this one is let me take this out of the shrink. And this one was 1987 Big Time Records. So Hoodoo Gurus. They have so many albums. And I do have like a best of Hoodoo Gurus on CD, and it's a really great CD comp. All right, so here's my girl, Samantha Fox. Want to have some fun. I really like Samantha Fox. She was really popular when I was a young lady, and I like her style. Her songs are great dance songs. I particularly like Naughty Girls Need Love Too. She always has great outfits, great hair. And this has I Want to Have Some Fun. This isn't one of my best favorite albums, but I Want to Have Some Fun, Love House, Your House or My House, next to me, ready for this love confession. I only want to be with you. You started something, one in a million, walking on air, not walking on sunshine. Not for you and out of your hands. And this is a BMG record here. And yeah, I like Samantha Fox. All right. Chipmunk. You had an 8. Okay, so Hawklord had Chipmunks on an 8-track, and I never owned an 8-track, but I thought it would be fun just to have one. A little bit before my time, so I just thought it'd be cool to have a record player, a CD player, a tape player, an 8-track player, and just have them all together. So these are life goals of mine. And I will make it happen eventually if I decide to. Okay. So let's see. I'm going up here, looking at the old comments here. So we got. I had to buy a record player recently. Lots of my tapes need repairing. I just have to make time to do it and learn how. So I had recently, I think I'd mentioned I had like a great Techniques 6 CD changer, a receiver, a double cassette deck player. I had a whole setup that I bought in like the late 90s from some online store. I think it's really popular. It's like BCG or one of those places. I got like such a killer deal. Like the components were like at the time like maybe $200, $250 each. And I had this really great setup. And when I had my my son, back in like 2012, we had a garage sale. And at the time I was really busy. You know, I didn't ever think I would be getting back into listening to music like I did. And, you know, I was starting to got a cell phone and all these things, finally starting to get into the new age with MP3s and things. And so I sold them for like nothing at the garage sale. And I'm like, why did I do that? So now I've got to go back and probably pay a bunch of money just to get like that set up back again. But yeah, I mean, 8-track, we have a shop in like about 20 miles from here that has all kinds of old vintage equipment for a pretty good price. And so I have my friend from high school owns it. And so maybe I can stop by there and see if he has any cool old stuff, maybe 8-track players. But honestly, I wouldn't even know like where to get an 8-track. Like I would have to buy it on eBay. They might be expensive. I have no idea. For you that collect 8-tracks, like let me know. Do people still collect them? I'm sure they do, but I haven't heard anybody in the vinyl community talk much about 8-tracks. So, all right. Bruce Hornsby in the Range, the way it is. He recently just played in this area down the street from where I work. And yes, this has the famous song, The Way It Is, on it, which is such a great song. Funny enough, I remember driving through at the time, visiting my aunt who lived in West Virginia, and my grandpa who lived in North Carolina. And it was very popular at that time. And I just have a distinct memory of being in that area, first visiting it for the first time from being a California girl. And the scenery was so different. It was so beautiful there. It was fall and it was just gorgeous. And I remember driving around in the car with my grandpa and hearing Bruce Hornsby in the Range, The Way It Is. And I thought it was just such a beautiful song. And it's funny how songs can take us back to a place in time. I also remember specifically around that time, the song by the band Double came out, The Captain of Her Heart. And I mean, those two songs, The Way It Is and Captain of Her Heart by Double, really just go well together. Like if I were doing a DJ set, I might combine those two songs together. But yes, memories. Okay, so I have another kids album here, and this was owned by Marie Rainey, and maybe she was a teacher or maybe she did daycare. But this one's thrash, but I would have been all over this as a kid. This is the best of Mother Goose, and this is an oldie here. But yeah, these are like really old school records here. Sing a Song of Sixpence, Old King Cole, Hickory Dickory Dock. I mean, these are probably like songs that you'd hear in preschool when you were a kid, right? And my preschool did have a record player, and we had a day where we got to bring in something to listen to on the record player. And of course, a lot of the kids it must have been like 1979-ish, 1978, 1979. A lot of kids were bringing in stuff like this to play on the nursery school record player. And guess what I brought? Well, I had a copy of Roller Boogie, and it was that was what I brought to listen to in preschool was Roller Boogie. So I thought that was pretty funny. And it's pretty, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I really was into like roller skates when I was a little kid, and I was into disco. And so, yes, Roller Boogie soundtrack. So let's see. You guys are talking about new age music, which I know nothing about. So I cannot chime in on that. But I'm sure some new age music is great, and there's only just a matter of time before I'm getting into new age music. Okay, so this is the Bullock Brothers, The Bunker from the forthcoming film. Has anyone seen The Bunker? I have not seen that, but it was this is made in the UK. It's got a little sticker right there, and this was produced by Jay Lydon, and I'm guessing that is the John Lydon of John Lydon fame. And this has Bootleg Man, which is pretty cool. And this is McDonald and Lydon Records. And this record is in excellent condition. It looks like it was never played. And I probably played it once, but it's got its little sticker made in the UK. And so it has The Bunker and The Bootleg Man, which is a kind of a cool song, actually. And I like the Bullock Brothers. I think they're pretty awesome. They have some pretty fun, kind of campy songs, too. So I might need your help with this if any of you know what this might be. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great lunch, and I will I need to catch up on some of your videos like I promised, and I will make some comments when I check out your videos. So, and I'll be doing another CD video soon too. So, all right, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so if anyone knows what this is, Farrell and Farrell, Jump to Conclusions. This is probably something I picked up because the cover looked like a kind of a new wave-ish cover, but I haven't ever listened to this. This is from 1985, Star Song Records. This has Jump Up, People in a Box, Split Second, American Man, The Sting, Heart in the Right Place, Hungry Eyes, Thirsty Hearts, Shakedown, The Meek and the Mighty, and I Belong to Him. And it looks like Farrell is on vocals, and Cromwell drums and percussion, Farrell on vocals, Robbins keyboards, and Demis on guitars and keyboards. So looks like it's female fronted band there. Don't know anything about that. Here, this is a record imported from England, Kirsten Flagstad, and singing 4 songs. And so this is beautiful. I've listened to it before. 1971. Here's another one I have not listened to. This is Andy McCarroll, Moral Support here. and it's called Zionic Bonds. So it's kind of an interesting cover here. Pilgrim America. And this is 1981. That guy's got like the Clockwork Orange look going on there. But yeah, this is kind of a fun looking record. And this says produced by Andy Kidd with 2 Ds. And I don't know much about this album here. It's got Slippin' and Slidin', I'm Human, 20th Century, In Control, Livin' a Lie, King Man, Cyan City, Sin, and How the Kids Are Feelin', and Ta Know Ya, Ta Know You. Okay, and so since I'm a nerd, speaking of nerds, this is the Revenge of the Nerds soundtrack. And oh, so Hawklord 58, you've never seen A Clockwork Orange. I first saw it when I was a teenager, probably at a slumber party. And everyone, I guess it's Stanley Kubrick, everyone I seem to talk to loves it. I thought it was an excellent movie, but it was very disturbing. And so therefore, I wouldn't say it's one of my top favorites. I can appreciate it for it as like a piece of art. The film's a piece of art, but is it on my list of movies to watch? Or favorite movies to watch? No. But yeah, it's really disturbing. And as a person that suffers with kind of depression and anxiety, it's not really good for me to watch movies that kind of are disturbing. So, but it is, it's a masterpiece, and I'm glad I saw it. I've seen it a couple times, maybe 2 or 3 times, but it's not my cup of tea. But yeah, so I like to keep it light most of the time. So I haven't seen Requiem for a Dream either, but like a lot of Stanley Kubrick's movies are just really intense, and so to each its own. But anyway, so this is Revenge of the Nerds. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing series, not to give away all my best ideas, but I'm going to be doing some series about movie soundtracks and getting a little bit deeper into them. But these are fun movies. Let's see what's on this one. I haven't seen this movie in so long, but this has the Rubinos on it with Breakdown. A lot of songs by this band in here. They also do the Revenge of the Nerds. There's a really cool song called Are You Ready for the Sex Girls by the Gleaming Spires. And I first heard that song on Karaoke in Los Angeles, and it's on the Rodney on the Rock, one of those Rodney on the Rock comps that I absolutely adore. Are You Ready? Performed by Ya Ya, produced by Leah Hart. Andrea and Hot Mink with Manhattan. Let's see. One Foot in Front of the Other by Bone Symphony. And Right Time for Love, performed by Pat Robinson and Jill Michaels. And also another song by Gleaming Spires on here. Such a rare, obscure band. But yep. Revenge of the Nerds soundtrack. And I always pick up really weird, bizarre 80s soundtracks when I can. I think I've shown this one before, but this one's got a really awesome cover. This is The Forbidden Zone. And if you're into Fantasy Island, you know who this guy is. And I've never seen this movie, but it looks really bizarre. So this was from, 1983, and it looks like Danny Elfman. It was a Danny Elfman film. So I don't really know much about it, but it's got, I'm trying to look and see here. Okay, original music by Danny Elfman, arranged by Steve Bartek. Original music performed by the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo. And they give special thanks to all these people, including Dr. Demento. So you can see where this kind of movie's going here. But if anyone's seen this, let me know. I'm curious about it. I keep forgetting that I have this. And yeah, interesting cover, interesting artwork. And yeah, I'm kind of getting just really bizarre B-movie vibes off of that one. So that's all I have to show you for today. I don't want to spoil my future purge videos that I'm going to be doing, but catching up, Eyes Wide Shut is a strange and disturbing movie. Yeah, it is really. That's one of the ones I like a little bit more by Stanley Kubrick. But like I said, I saw it once, maybe or twice, and that was enough. So yeah, but definitely love Oingo Boingo. Big Oingo Boingo fan. And I heard Danny Elfman was coming back maybe to do an Oingo Boingo show. Let's look into that. That might be a rumor that I heard, but let's kind of see. Is Danny Elfman touring? Inquiring minds want to know. So it says here, Danny Elfman has upcoming performances as part of his From Boingo to Batman to Big Mess and Beyond tour in 2024. Highlights include shows at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles on November 2nd, past, and the Shoreline Amphitheater in Mountain View. I've been there on November 3rd, past. These events promise to be a mix of his iconic works from Oingo Boingo, his film scores, and his recent solo projects featuring special guests like Johnny Jewel and Time's Desire. So I guess we missed that, kids, but kind of cool that he went out and did that. And yeah, I've been to a lot of shows at the Shoreline Amphitheater. I started going there to see like these. They were called the BFD. It was put on by a radio station up in San Jose, California, and they had all kinds of bands that were popular in the '90s play. I got to see Green Day, and I actually saw Danny Elfman's band that was called Boingo at the time play. Along with a lot of those really popular bands that came out in the 90s, the alternative bands. But I saw, let's see, who else did you see at the Shoreline? I saw Trent Reznor with David Bowie at the Shoreline play during the Lost Highway tour. I think I saw Rush play there a couple of times. I saw some, I can't remember if I saw metal bands play there. No, I don't. I was thinking maybe I might have seen Ozfest, but that wasn't there. I have seen Frente, I think, play there. Gosh, one of these days, I have a bunch of old concert tickets that I have collected over the years. So I'm going to go whip those out, and then I'm going to go through them, and I'll show you guys all the shows that I've seen. But I know I've seen Jane's Addiction play at the Shoreline. And I know there's a lot of like drama going on around Jane's Addiction with Perry Farrell, like flipping out at his concerts and them canceling the shows. But when I saw Jane's Addiction, it was probably early 2000s. And the show, like, I just remember feeling a little disappointed, even though the show was really big and epic. I just thought it was kind of funky. Like, there were women in cages, and I guess you could get away with that back then. But I think like it just felt kind of weird. And it felt like I should be liking it more than I did because I'm a really big Jane's Addiction fan. But like their live shows were just different to me. I don't know. Maybe you tend to get like an image of the way things should be when you go to a concert, and they're different than they are. But I did see them twice, I think, at the Shoreline. It's not one of my favorite places to see a show because it's just so huge, and I like more intimate concert venues. But yeah, I just remember seeing Jane's and just kind of being like, oh, okay, well, that was good, but not the best. So back in school, look up Everyday Chemistry. There's supposed to be the Lost Beatles albums from the future. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll have to check that out. So yeah, I know that there's a lot of people that are big Love and Rockets fans out there, and I had heard from a fellow YouTuber that had gone to see the Jane's Addiction show with Love and Rockets touring, and they said Love and Rockets were really good, and it was kind of a shame that Love and Rockets kind of just spoiled got their tour got spoiled, and all their fans had to miss out because of like Perry Farrell's bad behavior. So anyways, hopefully Perry Farrell, I'm not sure what's going on. I've heard rumors or whatever, but hopefully he's going out there and getting treatment for whatever the issue is that's happening. And, that's an old story everyone's heard about, drug addiction or mental health issues and all that stuff. So it's not really like it's nothing we've heard before. So anywho, so let's see. We're getting back to some trivia. Let's do some trivia here. And we're going to do some facts too. What are your favorite songs related to the morning? And double extra points if you can think of a song that has to do with Sunday morning. So history and music. Let's see here. So we talked about John Lennon. We talked about, let's see. Okay. Oh, here's another thing. So, it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of people that were born, a lot of famous musicians born on this day in December 8th. And also a lot of tragedy with John Lennon getting killed on December 8th in 1980. And now December 8th, 1984, for the Motley Crue people out there, Vince Neil from Motley Crue was involved in a car accident in Redondo Beach, California, which killed Nick Dingley from Hanoi Rocks. I really like Hanoi Rocks, and injured two other passengers. Neil was later sentenced to 30 days in jail, 5 years probation, and had to pay $2.6 million in restitution to the victims of the crash. Neil got out of jail after 15 days for good behavior. That is just a crazy story. Really, really crazy story. And yeah, that was Razzle from Hanoi Rocks, and two other people too. I think what I heard is they were partying and they were going out for a beer run, and they were driving a sports car, got out of control, and ended up turning into a disaster. Okay, let's see. Other facts here. So on December 8th, 1979, Styx went to #1 on the US singles charts with Babe. And that was the group's only US #1 and a #1 hit, a #6 hit in the UK. Now, for the Blondie fans out there, in 1977, on this day, 4 people were arrested after a riot broke out when Blondie didn't arrive for a gig in Brisbane. Over 1,000 Australian fans had waited for an hour for the group to appear on stage, but the gig was canceled due to the singer Debbie Harry being unwell. Debbie caused a riot. And for Roxy Music fans, on December 8th, 1973, Roxy Music had their first UK #1 album, When Stranded, went to the top for 1 week. The sleeve featured Playboy's Playmate of the Year, the model Marilyn Cole, who was the magazine's first full frontal nude centerfold. All right. And okay, one more fact before I start boring you too much. In December of 1966, working at Abbey Road in London, Paul McCartney overdubbed his lead vocal for When I'm 64. Then the Beatles set about remaking the new John Lennon song Strawberry Fields Forever. And so these are some. Oh, okay. So never mind. There's one more about Frank Sinatra that's pretty interesting. In 1963, Frank Sinatra Jr. was kidnapped at gunpoint from a hotel in Lake Tahoe. He was released 2 days later after his father paid out the $240,000 ransom demanded by the kidnappers, who were later captured and sentenced to a long prison term. Unlike Vince Neil, in order to communicate with the kidnappers via a payphone, the senior Sinatra carried a roll of dimes with him throughout this ordeal, which became a lifetime habit. He is said to have been buried with a roll of dimes. I don't know. Do you think that's true? But that's pretty interesting. So, interesting facts there. This is pretty funny. Stuff here, and I see we have a few new people. Oh, good. Sunday morning coming down. Yes, that's a good one. I think we just lost Chris Christopherson, didn't we, guys? Yeah. Oh, December 8th, 1941, American entered World War II. There's like a lot. It's the December 8th is a pretty prolific day. There's a lot of stuff going on December 8th, it looks like. And hello, B-Sides and Tim and everybody. Hi, Jenny. I tend to call people by their YouTube handles because I'm really bad at remembering names, but hello and welcome. So yeah, my live stream's almost over, but I've just been asking everybody if they can think of songs related to Sunday or Sunday morning. And we've been reviewing birthdays and facts for Sunday, December 8th, which turns out to be a very interesting day in music. And a lot of musicians born on December 8th. Not only that we lost John Lennon today, but like a lot of cool people born today. And so if any of you know any other facts about December 8th, or if any of you happen to be born on December 8th, let me know. And also, too, I was mentioning I got my artificial Christmas tree last year on Facebook Marketplace, and I just swapped out the lights. And so I was asking for the people that do celebrate Christmas if you guys are doing like an artificial tree or a real tree. I personally prefer real trees, but I have an artificial tree right now. So, yes. Sunday Morning by the Velvet Underground. Hello, Tim. Hi. And we were also talking about the controversy with people that cover certain songs, and end up committing suicide or having tragic, mysterious deaths. So I guess that's a topic for another live stream. But there was the curse of the song Nothing Compares to You. And so let's see if we can get some more interesting stuff going on. I've shown all my records. If you guys have ever seen this one, let me know. It was produced by Danny Elfman. And so we were talking about movie soundtracks. I've never seen this movie, but it's from 1983. So if any of you guys know that movie, let me know. I have not seen it. And then I showed a bunch of records here that are just kind of look cool in 80s, but I have no idea what they are. So I was thinking this guy was like channeling Clockwork Orange here. And if you missed the topic, we were talking about Stanley Kubrick movies. And so, yes, indeed. All right, let's see here. So let's talk about in December of 1955, American jazz, R&B, rock bass player and vocalist Nathan East. He has recorded and performed and co-written songs with Eric Clapton, Michael Jackson, Joe Satriani, George Harrison, Phil Collins, and Stevie Wonder. What does it say about him? They forget to mention the fact here. Let's go back. Let's go down. Well, that one was not. I think they forgot to mention something about him. They just talked about what he or who he played with. Let's see here. Let's get some more interesting stuff here. Okay, so let's talk about Jim Morrison. I know a lot of you don't like the Doors. I like the Doors. 1943, Jim Morrison, singer and lyricist with the Doors, who had the 1967 U.S. #1 hit single "Light My Fire," and 1971 singles "Riders on the Storm." Due to his wild personality performances, he is regarded by some people as the most iconic, charismatic, and pioneering frontman in rock music history. He died of heart failure. He must have been born today. Died of heart failure in a bathtub in Paris on the 3rd floor in 1971. And so there's some facts about Jim Morrison here. And there you have it. I know I need to break on through to the other side. That's what he did, didn't he? So Chris Cornell covered Nothing Compares to You also, yeah, and he had kind of a tragic history as well. And definitely a lot going on. So Forbidden Zone was directed by Richard Elfman, Danny's brother. Oh, okay. Well, good to know. Thanks. I read that wrong. So yeah, let's get back to that album. I picked it up because I thought, man, this is bizarre. And then I saw that it says it's got original music by Danny Elfman, but I guess it was produced by his brother here. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, I haven't seen the movie. It looks interesting. I don't even know where to get the movie. I haven't searched it up. I keep meaning to watch it, and then I forget that I have it, and it goes by the wayside. But it looks pretty campy and bizarre. Here we go. Yes, produced and directed by Richard Elfman, and it's starring Susan Tyrrell, Marie Pascal Elfman, Toshiro Bologna, the Kipper Kids, and Viva, and then the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo. So, yeah, this says 1980 Hercules Films. So, kind of bizarre. Yes, bizarre indeed. So what's everyone doing this Sunday? Is everyone ready for the Christmas shit show? I tried to go out shopping and I was like, I was starting to get anxiety and feel like, I don't know, I think maybe I need to go home and buy stuff online, and or maybe I'll just make gifts or something and just not be so overwhelmed. So I decided today, instead of going out and spending money, I would just stay in my jammies and talk about records, because that's like my happy place. So as much as I love Christmas, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, and so it's nice just to go back to some comforting things and just stay home and stay cozy. So I think I've gone through all these records here. Oh, thank Jesus for online shopping. Here. Yes. Although I usually shop on Amazon, and I noticed like Amazon's starting to change. They used to, like, if you had Amazon Prime, you could do like your next day delivery or the day after, but now it's more like 4-day delivery. So I'm kind of wondering, like, can I trust Amazon now with my Halloween or holiday shopping? Who knows? Um, but yeah, I definitely prefer to go out and like physically shop, just because I think it's more of a fun experience. But it's just like the people and the crowds and everything. Um, it's not really fun if people are speeding and rushing and cranky, and I don't enjoy that. So it's better just to, if you can, stay at home and online shop if you can. But yeah. So Hawklord 58. Iggy was out of control back then. I don't know. I can't remember the part of the conversation where we were talking about Iggy Pop, but I'm sure Iggy Pop was out of control at some point. Did anyone out there see the Jane's Addiction show with Love and Rockets? I'm curious because I was really excited when I heard that they were both out touring together. And I'm so glad I didn't buy a ticket because I hear it was pretty bad. I really loved Love and Rockets. I've never seen Love and Rockets play, but I've always wanted to. But I've seen Bauhaus play a couple times, which was really great and fun. And like I said, I've seen Jane's Addiction play a couple times, but it was many, many moons ago. And although they're a great band, and one of my top favorite bands from the late 80s, early 90s, I just wasn't like that excited seeing them play live. So yeah, it would have been interesting to see this last show, but kind of disappointing actually too as well. So anywho, okay guys, well, I think I'm going to end my live stream right now. And I've got about maybe 5 more minutes. So if any of you guys want to chime in on any of the records that I showed today, maybe if you guys are into Christmas, what your favorite Christmas record is, that would be good to know. I'm curious. I have been having to listen to Christmas music at work while I'm working all day long. So about 8 hours of Christmas music every day. And it's kind of a station where they play a variety of Christmas music, which some songs are good. You know, I like the old school stuff, like the Elvis songs are pretty good. And like Bing Crosby and things like that. I like that stuff. But just if you're looking for, there was a point to this. If you're looking for some really good Christmas music, I recommend Stephen Schmee, the CD Junkie. He's got some really cool stuff on his channel. And he also has a Mixcloud where he does some really killer, like old school Christmas and holiday mixes. So if you guys are wanting some good Christmas mixes, because the ones I've been listening to at work on the radio station are just not so good, definitely check out his channel and his Mixcloud. And yeah, he's got some really good ones. He's got like old school stuff, like the Beach Boys are in there, really good stuff. Shanter Claus by William Shatner. There's all these there's all these funny things to check out. And I know all of you guys have a really great sense of humor too. So I am saving the chat on this live stream. And so I will go back and revisit it and look at all the comments about the Christmas songs that I've missed. I had no idea about Twisted Sister, but that's pretty interesting. There's so many like different varieties from all the 80s bands and the old school bands and stuff that are really fun. But I think it would be fun maybe to do like Stephen Schmee. He does his live streams, but he plays like live music during them, and then he doesn't save them because he doesn't want to get a copyright strike. But maybe one of these days, I'll get my turntables out and we'll do some kind of like a DJ live stream, and then I'll just delete it afterwards so I don't get in trouble. But with the YouTube police. Bob Dylan's Christmas album is fun too. Great. These are all great suggestions. It's always good to know what the experts think. Awesome. Yeah, I think what I do sometimes is I just like to stick like I'm a big fan of the Nutcrackers, so I'll put on like Tchaikovsky and listen to that. Like if it's getting too much with the Christmas music at work, I just have to tune it out. So I'll play something like that, which is like comforting to me. And then that way I don't have to hear Mariah Carey like every hour because it kind of slowly drives you insane. I think Mariah Carey is a great vocalist and everything, and I have respect for her talent, but I just can't stand the same old things over and over again, for sure. So awesome suggestions, guys. Cool. Well, thank you for tuning in. Typically I've been doing this live stream like every other weekend. So if you guys are ever bored and you want to have something to do, I'm so happy to have you here, and it's fun to talk about music. I'm going to be doing another record purge where I get rid of I show you out of every 15, I get rid of one. That's my version of record purge. And then I'm going to do a CD show and tell 2 coming up soon. But it was so nice to have you guys here and hear all your suggestions and rack your brain about all these albums I don't know anything about. And so I'll be back soon with another live stream, and you guys all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay. You guys all have a great day, no matter what you're doing. I'll probably be doing some online shopping maybe later. Bye, Barney and Tim and everybody else. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully. Take care. Happy Sunday, everyone. Bye.